Hey guys, it's Cody. Today we're doing a Home Sweet Home Survive guide. It's going to be a little how to play beginner's tutorial because I know when I first booted up the game it was a little difficult trying to understand how everything was working. We'll just try and break it down as easy as possible for you. First off, there's going to be two different ways you can play the game. You can play as a survivor, or you can play as the Spectre is what they call it. So I'm going to be going over the gameplay of the Survivor first. Let's just go over some of the UI on the screen. If you look in the top right corner, that's going to be all the people that are playing. If it shows red around their little icon, that means that they're damaged. And if it shows that there's like a number and they're grayed out, that means they've died and they're going to respawn after that number is done. And if there's simply just like an X through it, they're out of the game. They're donezo. In the top left corner, you see that there's a time limit. If that time limit hits 0, then the Spectre automatically wins, so make sure to keep an eye on that. Below it, you will see different little icons showing the different ritual sites and the rituals performed. So if you kind of compare this to Dead by Daylight, if you're familiar, Dead by Daylight, you have to do a certain amount of generators in order to be able to open up the exit gates. This game's version of the generators is rituals. So if you look around on the map, you will see different kinds of boxes. There's different regular boxes to give you items, and then there's other boxes that kind of glow and have string over them, and those have the different ritual items. A lot of the times you're going to need like incense, or you're going to need like a nail, and then you're going to have to go to the different glowing highlighting things, the little bodies, the ritual sites, to be able to perform those things. So these different ritual boxes actually have different skill checks on them between E and Q, so make sure you don't mess those up. If you mess those up, it's going to bring up a different audio alert for the Spectre to come and find you. In the bottom left corner, you can see whichever item that you have, and then below that you have your health, and then the blue bar is your stamina. So if you hold shift to sprint, that means that you're going to be using up your stamina. So you can see that when you go and actually have a ritual item, there's a little taskbar that takes some time for you to actually perform the ritual. So keep an eye on that. And then once you've collected all the different items, you simply just have to perform the ritual and start praying at the site, which takes a very long time. However, you can group up. So once you've gotten to that point and it just shows the little prayer icon, the little yellow prayer icon, that means that the ritual site is ready to start praying at. And so you can get a whole bunch of people and just hop on and to start praying. That's going to speed up the process quite a bit. So a couple of other things, you can notice that you can go in lockers, you can also go through vents, you can go through holes in the wall. The thing that kind of tripped me up was that in order to go through the holes in the wall, you actually just have to hold down control, so that way you can crouch, and you actually crouch walk through it. That kind of messed me up because you actually use E to interact with like everything else, like the vents, the lockers. So just keep an eye on that. Otherwise, there are different types of items that you can pick up. You can have like sigil scrolls, which prevent the Spectre from going through doors unless they use a certain skill, which we'll go over later, as well as just kind of getting like different weapons to reduce their visibility. You can get energy drinks so you can speed up your stamina for a little bit. You can find shots to help you improve your health and gain health back that you may have lost because you got hit by the Spectre. You can also get sticks and weapons to straight up just smack the Spectre to lower its health. You can win by a couple of different ways, actually. You can win by actually just killing the Spectre, because the Spectre does have HP, so if you smack it on the head enough, it will die. Otherwise, you can do the different ritual sites and get out of there. Speaking of death, if your character dies, sometimes a yellow soul will pop out, and one of your teammates can actually go and grab that soul and bring it to a different kind of prayer statue. And once they do that, they can pray, and you will actually be brought back from the dead a little bit earlier than your timeout would have been. But once you have all the different ritual sites performed at, the doors are going to start opening. And you'll notice that all the different doors slash exit gates, I guess if you want to call them, actually 5 of them open. So if there's one on the other side of the map that you don't really feel comfortable going for, you can just wait a little bit and hope that one spawns on your side of the map. However, one crucial thing is that you have to actually open the portal before you can actually go through it. So if she wants to go ahead and teleport to you, she can, using one of her skills. And just be careful of that, because in my instance, I didn't know that at the time, and I had died. So yes, you do have to open up the portals, but once the portal is good, you're good to exit, and everybody else on your team should be able to exit as well. But once you've opened the portal and gone through it, you've won as a survivor. So let's go ahead and move on to how to play the Spectre. So as you notice, the UI is pretty much the same in terms of the top right, the top left, and the bottom right, which has our skills that you can do by purchasing coins on the menu, which we'll be going over later. But the bottom left is a little bit different. And for this character, we don't have stamina, but you do see that you have different skills. So R is going to be our different like skill for this character. And for this instance, the lady that we're playing as, she can teleport randomly to next to one of the survivors, so that's pretty nice. If you right click, it comes up with like a little like barrier, so if someone were to try and hit you, or if you needed to go through one of those sigil scrolls we talked about earlier, you would be able to do so. And so that's like a little protective barrier from the spells and different items that might be thrown your way. The most important one, I think, is holding shift, because that's going to put you into like a different specter mode, and you're going to be able to see pretty much every single person that's like moving around, and so you can quickly teleport next to them. However, if you get too close to them, your screen will turn red, and you won't be able to swing your knife or weapon for a certain amount of time. So I would suggest getting just a little bit away from them, and staying in that little green position so you can spawn in and just quickly knife them. Do keep in mind that there is a small cooldown, so you can't just like smack, 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 smack. There is like a second or 2 seconds depending on the weapon that you have. But basically, you just want to go and prevent them from performing these rituals by any means necessary. So just basically kill them as fast as possible. But do be careful when you're playing the Spectre. It does seem to be quite easy for the survivors to juke you, go through the walls, go through the vents, fall through the floors, you name it. So playing the Spectre, it does have its advantages by being able to use different skills, but depending on the survivor's skill level, it might make it a little more difficult. So just make sure to keep your eye on all the different ritual areas that are being performed at. And simply, in order to win as the Spectre, is kill all of the survivors, and that's pretty much it. So after completing a game, you'll gain experience, and then you can level up with the experience. You can also get greedy pots, which are basically little mystery boxes that have different things inside. For this instance, mine had a little profile icon, so you can go ahead into the customization menu and go ahead and implement that. You can get some other things in there as well. I won't spoil it, just so it gives some little more surprise to you when you guys go and play the game. But also in the customize menu, you can unlock perks, different skins, so you can kind of like pimp out your character if you'd like to do so. But that's pretty much it for Home Sweet Home Survive. Hopefully this helped. If it did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. My name is Cody, and I'll see you in the next one.